I'm not dead. Right guy here. Yeah. It's November what? Like end of November. It's November 25th or 6th or something like that. Anyway, it's weekend, Sunday. Where have I been? I moved. Yeah, so I don't know how many of you guys have actually moved, like packed up everything that you've had over the past 20 years? Some odd years, 15, 20 years that you've accumulated all the crap and junk. But that takes about 3 months to get sorted out once you actually move into a house. So I'm living in the valley now, so yay. More nicer trails to run more often. Means a little bit more traveling when I want to do some of the older trails that I've been on, but it is what it is. Here in my nice, unheated, un-AC'd garage with no insulation on the walls except for, well, basically on the back side. But, yeah. So, where have I been? I've been here, been busy. Haven't had a chance to run this thing for basically months now. So, I apologize for the lack of videos, but here we're going to get to a little bit of a maintenance item that I got going on here today. The last run I did, probably, well, geez, about 3 months ago now. Last run I did, I noticed some play in the handlebars. And it seemed to be a vibration coming from one of the other sides. It actually is coming from this side. That's not a bearing play. That is actually a tie rod end play. Come to find out, the tie rod end nut had loosened off, and what happened is the bolt hole, or the hole on the knuckle, on the top of the knuckle where that tie rod end comes in, is getting either oblonged, or the tie rod end itself is getting chewed away because of that. I'm hoping it's actually just the tie rod end, because that would indicate that, or that means that I have a spare tie rod end I can throw on this thing and be back on the road relatively quickly. So let's go ahead and investigate this a little bit further. I'm going to take off the wheel here and then we'll get a look at what's going on. Okay, so again, my problem is actually right there in the tie rod. I don't know if you guys can see that movement, but it's pretty significant. But for some reason, I'm hoping, like I said, I'm really hoping that the problem is actually in this tie rod end, and that it's a softer metal than what this cast is here. Because if that cast is actually oblong, that means I might have to look at doing something differently for the knuckle. But I'm hopefully just going to be able to replace this tie rod in here, and I'm going to take a look at it after I get this cotter pin out here and this nut. And by the way, guys, these cotter pins right here, I keep blocking the camera, these cotter pins right here, extremely important. Any cotter pin is going to be extremely important, but if it wasn't for that, out in the trail, that nut would have fallen completely off, and that's actually what happened, is why this whole play issue is happening right now, is because this bolt, this nut here, had backed off and caused some play while the machine was in motion to actually chew away at either the metal here on the tie rod or the metal inside of the cast here. So like I said, hopefully it's just going to be able to, as simple as looking at this tie rod end and replacing that. So I'm going to get this off here and pop this out. You can see there's a little bit of play right here as is. So I'm going to get rid of that, and we're going to take a look at what's going on here. See, that should have come out a lot more harder than that. There we go. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on here. Not liking the look at how it is down here. You can see it's oblong a little bit. Actually, it's oblong quite a bit. So, let's take a look at the condition of this. Yeah, see, that's pretty bad too, but the majority of the damage is actually done in here. Dang. Well, I guess all we can do is put the new/used tie rod end that I have with me in my bag here. I actually carry a set of tie rod ends, both outer and inner, in my bike with me when I travel, just in case one of them decides to break. Now, if it break a tie rod himself, then that's a whole other issue. But yeah, that's actually not looking too good in there. But we'll do what we can. And yeah, I know I need a new bike, but that's right now it's just not in the cards with having moved. And well, I'll put it to you this way: we got an acre here, and we're looking at expanding this acreage acre into some acreage in the future here. So what that means is I need a piece of machinery to take care of the amount of property that we got. So we're looking at getting a tractor. So that's going to put off buying a new ATV or side-by-side for at least a couple years again. Or unless I win the lottery. And hey, if I win the lottery, you're going to see some cool stuff. But yeah, other than that, sorry. Anyway, rambling. Let's get this taken care of. This is the bag I carry with me on the bike. And there should be a set of tie rod ends in here somewhere. There's one. Is that the inner or the outer one? I'm not quite sure. I see a castle nut. There it is. Okay. So if you're unfamiliar with tie rod ends, one is forward threaded and one is reverse threaded. Don't know if you can see the difference on camera, but one thread is pitched this way, the other one's pitched that way. So that equals your forward and your backwards rotation. When you're actually turning this tie rod end, it's actually either going to extend or retract. If they were both the same, it would just move the tie rod end in and out like that. So anyway, let's get this tie rod end up here off, and we'll take a look at what the damage is. Okay, so if you're not familiar with the Grizzlies style of tie rod ends, you can use a 10 mil wrench to hold this tie rod as you're loosening off this nut here, and this jam nut, and I believe it's a 14. It's raining out now, and it's cold. No, it's bigger than a 14. 16, 15, one of the two. 17. 17, okay. I was wrong, again. So, let's get this off of here. Ooh, yeah, okay. Easy. Been a while since this was dealt with. Let's try and loosen it back and forth a little bit, see if we can get it played. Any play in it, get it loose. There! No, that actually did the other one. That's not what I wanted to do. Loosen up the other jam nut inside. Okay, you know what? I'm going to get a bigger wrench on that than a small little 10 mil. Still needs to be 10 mil, but I'm not having that slip and me bust a knuckle. I got her. And this is actually reverse thread. Because you see I'm twisting this way, and she's pulling out of it. And by the way, I'm not a professional mechanic. I don't claim to be. I did do a little bit of mechanic work with a heavy equipment company there not too long ago. But it was, you know, didn't need a license to do what I was doing, just changing turbochargers and this and that. And if you got instructions ahead of you, then you're pretty much set to go. I think the most extensive piece of work I did with that company was, I had to do a motor swap there one time. Replace head gaskets and stuff too, but anyway, this is the damaged one. So yeah, that's not feeling too good there. And by the way, the jam nuts are either forward or reverse thread too, so if you get a set of tie rod ends, make sure that you're matching up one to the other and you're not trying to cross thread anything on there. Because it won't be good for you and it won't be cheap either. I'm just going to give that a little tap down and see what it feels like there. No play in that, so that's kind of good. Good feeling there. Well, let's put the castle nut on and see what it feels like anyway. And by the way, I know you're not supposed to use an impact on this. I know that. And everybody's a critic, so I'm going to get, well, why did you use an impact on that? You're going to ruin this, you're going to ruin that. Well, yeah, then don't do it with your bike. That being the case. There. That kind of seemed a little solider. I don't know how the alignment is right now, but we'll take a look. I'll get that wheel on there, just kind of loose on there and see how it looks anyway from the front. I do the old eyeball method for aligning ATV tires anyway. Seems to work well for me. Okay, now I can see that. I do have a little tube full of cotter pins, and I carry that with me on the trail all the time. It's just a tube with some big nuts, big bolts in there. Nice coarse thread. There. Always be prepared, as much as you can. Okay, that's a little bit too big. Boy, I gotta tell you, that feels a lot better. Doesn't look too bad. Okay, never mind, it looks bad. That wheel there is tipped or towed in quite a bit, so I'm gonna have to tow that out. Okay, now the fun part is getting in behind here and adjusting this tie rod in. Get myself in here and then try to tow this out some. Okay, I can see it moving. Let's check that out. That was 2 full turns. Actually, it's not half bad. I'd say that's hunky-dory. I'm going to tighten that up and maybe look at doing the other one. Alright, other side wheel. So I got the bars relatively straight. I'm going to tow that one out a little bit. It looks a little wonky. Already loosened up the tie rod and jam nuts on this guy here, so we're just going to go ahead and grab my 10 mil and find it in the dimly lit garage. Oh yeah, I gotta get some LEDs or something going on in here. Okay. What way am I going? Wrong way. I need to go that way. I can tell you one thing, I'm just turning that tie rod in. That tie rod end's a little bit bent, so no wonder that was towed in a little bit. Just a smidge more, I think. Just tow it out a little bit. See how that looks. Oh, I say that's better. Yeah. See, I try to line up the front wheel with the back wheel a little bit. You want to have a little bit of a toe out rather than in. You know, if it's towed in all the time, you're going to be fighting your handlebars back and forth, especially if you don't have power steering like I don't. So, anyway, it is what it is. It's looking better. Until the other side feels a heck of a lot better. And I know you guys are wanting some more ride videos, and that's coming. That's coming, but cargo on an ATV is doing this kind of stuff too. And if you can't, you know, you don't have the best of mechanical abilities, I always suggest taking it to a dealer or at least somebody you know and you trust. Well, unfortunately, this camera battery's going to die. I don't have another one because I don't even know where it is right now. It's probably still in a box hidden in the basement somewhere. I'm going to do a couple more maintenance items of this. Check the tire pressure, do the cables, lubricate them, those guys, and just do a general checkup of this thing. And then I'll see you guys out in the trail. I'll try to get out as soon as I can. Thanks a lot. I appreciate your patience, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Rye Guy out.